Hi guys, it's Olivia, aka with Love OA here, and I am back for another bite-sized question that you guys have surrounding software engineering and programming. So one question I get quite a bit is, do I actually love coding or am I doing it for the money? And that's a really awesome question because it's kind of multi-layered. And so let's go ahead and jump into that right now. So not gonna lie, when I first got into programming, when I first decided to, or when I made the decision to want to code, I completely got into it because I'm like, the money is good. And for me, I don't know if it's a Capricorn thing, but if it makes good money, I will love it type of thing. Like, I will love the idea that it makes good money, so that will make me like it. So initially coming into this industry and even applying for the school, like, yeah, coding seemed interesting and fine, but you know, if I were truthful during my interview, I would have said the money is just really freaking good. As that progressed, like when I started school, it was totally, you know, for the love of money to be. I just keep it real on this channel. It was totally for the love of money. That's what really pushed me through, because it was very difficult for me specifically. And so, yeah, I'm just like, end goal is to make good money. End goal is to make good money. End goal is to make good money. And then I started my job and it was still really hard. I questioned myself a lot. Like, am I made for this? You know, is this something that I'm really supposed to be doing? Am I good enough for this? And I really hated it almost. Like, I resented programming, if that makes any sense. And so, yeah. So, and then as time progressed and now I'm 1 year into programming, I can honest to God say that I truly love this shit. Like, I love it. I have become passionate about it. And I see now why, you know, you sort of have these passion industries where like nurses are really passionate about what they do, and teachers are really passionate about what they do, and software engineers are really passionate about what they do. And so I have finally come full circle to realize why people actually love doing this stuff. And I have now finally gotten to that point where I do this stuff for fun outside of work. It is this orgasmic, just like high, this dopamine hit to the brain when you're working on a problem, and it's kind of like you're a detective, you're an investigator, you have an end goal in mind, you have a feature that you're supposed to complete, and then there's like this gap between where the program is and where it needs to be. And somewhere along this line is where you're completely invested in figuring that out. And so you're trying a million different ways. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you're having to tinker with it. Sometimes you're having to like completely scrap the idea you were trying to completely scrap the methods you were working on and try a completely different way, and then Google and try this way. And so you're constantly learning. And I say all the time, I'm a hoe for learning. So I love to learn. And so I'm constantly picking up new concepts and new ways and new ideas. And let me tell you, when you actually figure it out, it is a freaking high. When you've been working on someone for days, weeks sometimes, and you finally get it to work, I cannot explain the feeling, but what I can tell you, I work from home right now, and I will seriously start dancing. Like, I will start singing when that one thing happens that I've been trying to get to happen for days or for weeks. I'm like, oh yeah, you did that. You're so smart. And so I can't explain the feeling. It's seriously a major dopamine hit that I've only ever gotten from coding. And so it's crazy to be at this point where it's like, I'm like, oh yeah, and I didn't need a lot of help with that, you know, because before I would tap so many people's shoulder just to get stuff going. And so I'm like, whoa, I figured this out on my own. And now I have another brain nugget in my toolkit that I can now access and continue to build and do better and better and better. And so it's this constantly changing industry. And it's a position where you can never get bored because you're constantly doing something new. There's no way you could get bored with this because it's so difficult. So you're constantly having to like hike that mountain, if you will. That's a really good analogy I can give. It's kind of like there's this mountain peak that you're trying to get to, and you're hiking that mountain. And there's some people who absolutely hate hiking mountains, and there's people who seriously get a high from it. They absolutely love hiking. It's difficult and it's hard, but once you get to the peak of that mountain, it makes everything worth it. And then now you're equipped to take on an even bigger mountain, which becomes a whole new challenge in and of itself. And also having this feeling of like, I know stuff now is amazing. And then also this idea that like less than 1% of the world knows how to code, understands programming languages, or know how to read code. And to be within that group of people and to know that this is so rare and that number could be growing, you know, of course it probably is given in this day and age, but to be a part of such a rare group of people just makes me feel so good and so yummy inside. I love, you know, when people ask what I do, I can tell them that I'm a software engineer, and there's so much packaged within that. I think just this idea of someone who's really passionate about what they do, which I am. I build things for a living, and those things are something that someone else uses. For me, it's scientists. So I build lab apps for scientists, which is really freaking cool. And so to be able to go online onto a public site and to see your actual work, and you can say, whoa, I did that. And thousands of people view this app, this web app. I did that. And so it's just one of the most amazing feelings. So do I do this for the love of money or because I actually love it? I can honestly say at the beginning it was totally for the money, but I just kind of accidentally fell in love with it. And I would never go back. This is something I want to do for the rest of my life, somehow, some way in the realm of technology. I absolutely love programming and I love coding, and I can guarantee you that if you stuck with coding and programming, you would get to that point too, where you can kind of consider yourself, you know, an okay programmer. Once you get out of that phase where you're just struggling so much to even understand what is going on a purely foundational level, once you get past that point, then it's like, okay, I kind of know stuff now. So anyway, that's that. Let me know if you guys have any more questions. Definitely feel free to subscribe down below because I have really awesome content surrounding technology and programming. So yeah, have a good day, guys. Bye.